Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. So I am here in the lobby to try to do some more swapping. Now, the current problem with the game raises quite a few issues with swapping, and there's things that I mentioned in my beginner's video part 1 that I think deserves to be discussed in the second video because it wasn't brought up in the first one. One of the basics of that is the idea of being an honorable swapper, right? The reality is a lot of people put swap symbols into their names, and some of these people don't actually put it in because they actually want to swap with you. They put it in because they know that they can sucker you into a race where they can easily beat you and essentially cheat you out of a win. So if I won the first race, then on the second race, the other guy's supposed to win. But if I lost the first race, then theoretically, they should give me the win on the second race by basically holding back, like this player is doing. That is called honoring the swap. There are players out there that'll put symbols in, and then they'll beat you the first race, and then you're racing them the second time, and you think, all right, this time he's going to back off and give me the race. No. They're going to run you through all the way to the end and beat you again. And then the third time you challenge them because you're now kind of mad, they're going to raise a bet. Those are the dishonest swappers that people are mentioning in my comments for the first video. And a lot of people said that I should address that because it's something that they feel is important to discuss, and it's something that people do. So let's go ahead and put that out there, that there is such thing as dishonorable swappers that are faking it. Okay, so that's one piece of the equation. The second piece is that people disagreed with me about staying kind of close to the other guy, and I thought about it some more, and I think I can agree because all of our cars in this game can run a little differently, and sometimes it can be a little hard to stay too close to the guy, and then, you know, in a sense, you don't know for sure if you may not accidentally beat them, particularly cars that accelerate a lot near the end, like the Vulcan, the LB Aventadors. Those players, on their turn to lose, tend to hang back almost half track, because they know in the later half of the track, their car accelerates so much that it's almost impossible for them to slow down. If you decided you want to slow down, or if you ran poorly for some reason and your car topped out earlier than they thought, and really isn't going to run very quick, you know, it could end up being a pretty bad situation, and they don't want that. They don't want to be pushed and then not be able to slow down and then cheat you out of a win when they didn't intend to. Another thing is when you are swapping with another player, one thing you should do ahead of time, which I didn't do, I did it earlier, but then that video kind of got messed up, and then so I'm re-recording. I didn't do this time is I didn't come in with a full 3 tanks of gas. I really should have filled up with gas with gold ahead of time, so I can just come in and have the gas ready to go. I didn't do that, and what that does is I have to fill up earlier. Now, when should you fill up gas? Well, I recommend that you fill up gas on your turn to lose at the end of the race, because most guys that swap knows that the other guy eventually will have to fill up gas. So if you didn't immediately re-challenge someone, they'll wait for you. Also, if you're the winner and you jumped into the fill gas section, what'll happen is the arrow for re-challenge for the other guy will disappear. So that is not good. I want to make sure I don't accidentally run past him. That's why I'm trying to control my speed here. So that's not good, right? You challenge, if you lose the ability to challenge, you both have to go out to lobby. And one of the best things not to do in a swap session is don't go back out to lobby. This is how you keep the swaps going real fast for multiple tanks. There's another, there are other issues with swapping right now that you need to understand, and that is that the device timing differences. A really fast device has a very hard time swapping with a really slow device, because what happens is the guy with the fast device will finish, and then you will re-challenge, but you're going to be so slow that while you're still on the black screen, he's already counted down to like 10 or something, and he's accepting already. If he accepts while I'm still on that black screen, then what will happen is you'll get a disconnect. This is where when I see fast iOS swappers, I kind of get worried because my device is slow compared to theirs. And oftentimes, when I rechallenge, they'll click so fast that I will end up actually not being able to connect with them. It shows as a disconnect. Now, there are other reasons for disconnects: crashes, freezes. Sometimes, and this is one of the most obnoxious ones, when you level up in the middle of a swap, it could take a while for the computer to show you you're leveling up. And in the meantime, the other guy's going, all right, I guess this guy's not rechallenging me, or he is trying to rechallenge you, and the countdown's going to 0, and he's going, what is this guy doing? He's not accepting. That is not always intentional. It's leveling up. It's other kind of issues that could cause that as well. Now, another pet peeve of many players who don't swap, and they really get kind of upset with people who are always asking about swap, is they feel that many swappers don't tune their cards to win. Now, I always tune my card to win. Oh, did I steal this guy's win? I hope I didn't. That would be really bad. Okay, no, I didn't. Hopefully he's giving me a break if I did. But I don't remember that I cheated him out of a race there, but hopefully I didn't. But, all right, back to the point. You should always tune your card to win in any lobby. Just because you're swapping does not mean that you should not tune your card, because one of the things that'll happen is, let's say you meet a dishonest swapper, okay, and the guy's trying to get you on your turn to win. If you have a well-tuned card, you don't have to give him that win. You can still beat him and say, hey, that's not right. You're not supposed to get that win. I'm going to take my win, is basically what that comes down to. So remember, you can always do that, and that is why you should always, always tune your card to still be competitive in a lobby, regardless of the fact that you're swapping or not. I don't build a card to lose. I build a card to win. But if I'm going to swap because I'm on a wild card and I just want to get through, I will do what I will do. What I need to do, I should say, I will do it. So, oh, it's my turn to win. He must. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm talking here, and see, that's that's a good swapper right there, who's keeping track of for you what's going on. And when he realized that you must be kind of confused right now, he'll slow down and make sure that you get your win. And now I need to pay attention and make sure he gets his win. So this is why you do it. Is it that we're really not playing the game at this point? Well, I disagree with the argument that somehow by swapping we're not racing. You're not, quote, racing to win. What you're doing right now is you're grinding points. And let's be honest here. In this game, there are tons of point grinding going on. You have to grind points because it's needed for milestones and other things. So winning is important to make those points, but swapping is a way to make those points quickly during a wild card. I don't tend to swap outside of a wild card. The stake raise. Now, this is interesting. So on my turn to win, if the other guy raises money, that usually means that he is done. He's out of gas, or he is otherwise done with the swap session. That's a thank you. You should always do that if you're the one to quit first, because it is a courtesy. You don't have to give 200,000. Nobody's asking for that. But any amount of a bet usually is a nice sign that, hey, I'm done, or I'm out of gas, or other reasons. Here's 10 grand, here's 100, whatever it may be. I tend to give big numbers the more and the longer I swap with somebody. And if I were the first one to quit because I'm moving back to the garage for video purposes, I would have been the one to tell him, hey, here's some money. Thank you very much. But in any case, thank you, Hellish, for the swaps. Very good swaps. Our devices were not so far off on reload speed that it was an issue for me to swap. Now, here's another card that obviously does a lot of swapping. These guys tend to do a lot of fast swapping, so I'm a little leery to swap with them because my device probably can't keep up. Okay, that's my biggest concern. The reason I don't tend to jump into everybody and try to swap with them when I see iOS is I know they tend to have faster devices, and it may be an issue for me to actually stay with them. I don't want to waste their time. They certainly don't want to waste my time. So sometimes finding the right swap partner is not as easy as it may sound. So what I did is I jumped back to Garage. I'm going to jump back into Lobby again, and let's take a look to see one, what lobby I'm in, whether it's the same players, and two, if I can find someone else to swap with. So my wildcard lasts another 30 minutes or so, and that is why I'm doing the swapping. And again, there's nothing here that says you must swap, okay? Nobody tells you that swapping is the only way to race in the game. But if you're not going to swap, make sure after you do swapping that you take the name, the portion of the name out that marks you as a swapper. So if you put win-loss in, like I did, I put win-loss in this time to raise people as win-loss, then when I stopped doing the win-loss, when I decided I'm just going to go back and start doing whatever I normally do, which is basically raise people and win, I will take win-loss back out of my name. You should definitely do that as well. Don't forget to leave it in and then start beating everybody under the sun because, wow, I found this godly new tune. I just can't wait to kick everybody's behind. Well, you still got your win-loss in your name, and now somebody's going to complain on the forum that you're a dishonest swapper. Okay, don't be that guy. Just take it out of your name if you don't want to swap. Leave it in when you're swapping. But we all forget, and I understand. It's not, if I do it once, people will probably forgive me. But if you do it every single time, you're going to get a rep as that guy. And you definitely don't want that. Okay, and the worst part is people don't always just remember your name. They remember your entire crew's name. And now you just drug your crew's name through the mud with all the other crews that have people that are making points and swapping. Because they're going to say, oh man, don't ever swap with those guys. They're the worst. Okay, because so-and-so from this crew is such a bad swapper. They must all be like that. Because people tend to get lumped together. So remember, you're always representing your crew when you're out here doing anything. So if you act like, a donkey's behind, then your entire crew may be thrown in with that list. Okay, now, another thing, dyno beating versus resetting. Swapping can help you, in a way, reset dyno beating cars. Let's say you're bumped, but you're in the lobby that you're bumped to, you decide, I want to try to reset my car. It is possible. I think we have an issue here. It's counting down. Oh, no, we don't. Okay. If you're swapping with a guy and you're already busted, you're been busting dyno, you got pushed up the lobby. By running swaps slow, you could slowly reset your car. It may take you 20, 30 swaps to do it, but on your winning runs, you still can't break dyno too much. If you go crazy on your winning runs, that's going to be a problem. Okay, now, I think he still did disconnect. Oh, no, he didn't. We just have really bad connection right now. I want him to go ahead and get the first win because I can't tell how far ahead of him I am, and it looks like we just had a low issue there with connection. Connection issues happen. Weird issues happen with this game. Don't always think of the worst of the other person just because of that. Sometimes it's just, somebody has issues. He couldn't judge where you are based on the line and might have miscalculated and ran too fast. Like this car is a top-end car, if he can even accept my rechallenge. That's a top-end car. If he accepts it and he's running and he's coming on really hard at the end, and I can't tell because, the connection's making him jump around, it could be a problem for both of us to try to coordinate a swap. Okay, so keep in mind that it's not always the other guy intentionally doing something. This game is full of issues, and oftentimes it's not really their fault. So, give people the benefit of the doubt to a point. You don't have to give them every benefit of the doubt, but notice he slowed down when he saw me slow down. So he's definitely not trying to steal win, but his car, the type of car that he has is a top-end car, so it's starting to pick up more. Although it's not as bad as the LB Aventador. This car, it tops out at a certain speed, but it's still higher than my McLaren's. So when we swap with each other, there are things the two of us have to watch for. The other thing is, and I might have accepted too early here, I did. All right, so I'm going to re-challenge him if I can see him come out to lobby. But what happened is, this is what I was saying earlier about fast versus slow devices. Let me go find him. There he is. I'll challenge him. He re-challenged me, so this is my loss, okay, first of all, even though you re-challenged him. Secondly, I accepted too early. When his device is obviously a little bit off and a little bit slower, when you're waiting for their re-challenge, they'll click the button to re-challenge, but you see it first, and he's still coming out of the lobby. In that situation, let the countdown go down to like 10 before you accept. Once you disconnect once, if you're patient, I mean, if you're looking for a faster swap partner, there's no shame in doing that. But I'm going to stop here because I want him to catch up and know that I know it's his turn to win, even though I re-challenged him. But if you have a guy with a slower device than yours, you have to be cognizant. If he's the one guy that you're swapping with and you're okay with the speed, don't act too quick. How late he accepts your challenge can tell you right away how fast his device is. It's taking him almost to here sometimes to accept my challenges. That means all this time he's spending coming out of the lobby to see my re-challenge, and then he finally, look at that, at 4. So it took him a while to actually come out and accept. We all have lag issues right now, so it's unfortunate for him, and I'm sure he's disconnected from tons of races with other players when he re-challenges, because they'll accept on 20 or 19 and then boom, disconnect. So on the next re-challenge he gives me, I'm going to take my time and accept it a little bit on the late side. So again, this is my turn to win. I'm going to get up here and then I'll slow down a little because I don't want to break my dyno. Now he's going to re-challenge me, right? One thing I can do is I could just be slow myself and not click on this right away. And don't double click, you leave the lobby. But if you click right away, notice he re-challenged right away. So you're thinking, oh man, he's quick. He re-challenged right away and this all popped up. He could still be coming out of his lobby. So I'm going to wait until 8 before I click. And this time we should not disconnect because this time he has come out of the lobby and had enough time to get through the black screen, and therefore we connect. Sure, this is slower, but if the guy's a good swapper and you're not looking to make 150 wins in an hour, then let the guy race with you and let everybody work together a little bit. Okay, a little bit of patience. You're not trying to grind through these things super fast, and you like the other guy that's racing with you. He's consistent. He is honoring the swapping, and other people in the lobby's device might be too fast for you. Hey, work with the guy. So again, nothing wrong with doing swaps slower, but once you visualize and you can count where he's reacting to your challenges, you know if he has a fast or slow device, and therefore work accordingly. Okay, so again, he's not able to accept until like near the end here. I noticed that every time. So that means, unfortunately for him, it's taken him a while to come out of that screen. But that is what that is. I mean, it's nothing you can do about it. All of us have device issues. And my device is currently slower than probably 1/3, if not a half of the devices out there. So I will be in his shoes when I'm facing somebody with an iOS device that's quick. Okay, so once again, he sees me slow down. He usually backs off a little bit, and boom, we're done. Now, at this point, I need to kind of finish and go back to Garage. So what I'm going to do is I'll let him re-challenge. And like the other guy did for my benefit earlier, I am going to give him a bet and kind of tell him thank you, but I'm done for now. And he will, normally people accept. Some people refuse, but most people accept. And once he accepts, give him the money, and that is your thank you and goodbye kind of thing in swapping. And that's always a good thing to do. You should always tip and say thank you for helping me with the video, and therefore take the money and go from there. All right. So a little slow here. I hope he didn't. All right. I don't think he disconnected, but I hope he didn't disconnect. And then I will make sure he wins and get his money, and everybody goes their merry way. Okay? So this is a follow-up on the last swapping video because, again, a lot of people make comments for things that makes a lot of sense to me, and therefore I wanted to address it in a secondary video to kind of give you guys who are new at this whole win-loss idea and what is this about and why should I do it and what are the positives and negatives. I kind of try to give you a little follow-up on that. So let's recap real quick the few things we discussed. Not everybody's going to honor swaps. Just because their name says win-loss means nothing. Okay, they could still be someone who wants to cheat you out of your win, take a bunch of wins, or even bet you money. Anybody who raised money on you right away on your turn to win after just one race, you still have to be careful. That's not somebody saying, thank you for the one wonderful win. Chances are they're trying to take your money. Sometimes you'll get that from people that just thought it was like somebody earlier did that with me. They just gave me a 10K raise. I beat him. He disappears. I don't know if he meant to do it or he just did it because, those are a little questionable. Secondly, tip the guy if you like racing with him because, look, he'll remember you. Okay, that Maxthegamer dude tipped me 70K. I'll remember him. And he was pretty patient. He worked with me, and he didn't cheat me out of any races. Build a reputation. It's good for your crew. It's good for you. And other people will tell their crew, hey, I raced with this guy who's really cool. So when they see you, they may challenge you and want to swap with you. Okay. Third, and this is, again, what I mentioned earlier, if you're not going to swap, take the win-loss out of your name. Everything you do in the game is reflected on your crew and on you. So if you act, again, like a donkey's behind, you'll get a reputation to be one, and your crew's reputation will follow. So that's another thing. Finally, with bugs, crashes, freezes, device speed issues, not all swaps will go smoothly. Give people the benefit of the doubt. If they beat you on the first run and kind of disconnect right away, re-challenge them. See if they'll honor the next race. Or let them re-challenge you. Maybe they will, because they might be looking for you. Go, oh, I'm sorry about that. Most guys who swap a lot cares about their reputation with other players. And they do not want to cheat you out of anything. And they don't want a reputation that they somehow took a win and left. So we will find you again and try to give it back to you. Okay, so those are things you need to keep in mind as well. Earlier tonight, I also swapped with a few players. I'm going to kind of try to replicate their names here, but thank you guys. I couldn't get you into this video because after I recorded that video, I found some mistakes and other issues in the way I was discussing it. So I decided to record a new one. But I do appreciate those guys that swapped with me earlier and putting up with me jumping in and out sometimes and disconnecting. In that one, I had a lot more device connection issues where either I disconnected or the other side disconnected. In any case, this is the follow-up to the first video, Beginner's Guide on Swapping, and I hope this gives you some more insight to the entire process. Again, most of these comments were based on the feedback I received on the first video and comments on the first video. I hope I addressed all the points. If I missed anything, feel free to put it in the comments, and maybe there'll be a part 3 video to address other issues that I missed. But I think we've covered most of the basics and important points of swapping. Oh, yes, and lastly, build your card to win. Always build your card to win. Always learn how to tune. Don't build a card to lose, or don't use a card that you know sucks, but you slap the swap symbol on and expect everybody to cater to you. You should still be out there to win, and swapping is a means to an end. It is not technically actual racing. Okay, but we do need RP, and I'd like my RP to go up quick when I'm on a wild card. All right, so I think that covers the other topic that I kind of discussed during the video. Let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if you disliked the video. But either way, please subscribe because it helps me get my videos out to more people when I have more subscribers. And I do appreciate if you do subscribe. In any case, as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.